we're back with another tier list. Easy content and I enjoy making them. Please forgive me, everybody, but yeah, here we go. MMA YouTubers slash content creators slash journalists, 13-time fucking, yeah, okay, we get it. It's a tier list. It's a tier list on who I enjoy the most. It's my opinion on each of these people. Obviously, before I start, it's my opinion. If you're on this list and you take any offense to my positioning in this list, I apologize, but lighten up. You know what I mean? Before I continue, I just want to say yesterday's video I was saying thank you for 100 subs and now I'm at 180 or something, like 185 I think it is now. The views on that video are going crazy. I know it's only a few thousand, but the algorithm really seems to like my stuff. So everybody that's new to the channel and watching this video, thank you very much for subscribing. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I'm wanting to start a YouTube channel like this since I was like 15 years old and never got around to it. So I'm finally getting around to it and it's all going well. So yeah, thank you very much. As I said at the beginning of the video, this is my personal bias. I would love to hear where you would rank certain people in the comments. I try to include everybody that I watch and then a few extras. Put me on to your favorite content creators, I guess. We got the tiers. We got chicken salad, of course.
Chicken salad, baby.
We've got great content, good content, mid content, and then Mike Jackson. Fuck Mike Jackson. All my homies hate Mike Jackson. When I say mid content, I mean maybe mid effort. It could be, I'm not going to be bashing anyone's editing skills or anything like that in this video, but if they make content that I think is just mid, that isn't necessarily an insult, it's just I don't enjoy it. So we will get straight into it with the first person on this list. I am starting with potentially one of the biggest YouTubers, because I know a lot of people watching this video will be waiting for the Weasel, so I'll start with the Weasel. Now, the Weasel a few years ago I would have probably put in chicken salad, but he's been quite biased in quite a few of his breakdowns, and I agree with the sentiment that a lot of people rely on the Weasel's videos to almost confirm who won and who lost, which I don't think you should be doing with anybody. You know, if you're knowledgeable enough in the sport, you've been watching the sport enough time to make a judgment on who won the fight, you should go off your own judgment. Don't listen to anybody else. I know that he does it in maybe one of the most accurate ways you could do it, the light, the medium and heavy strikes, but ultimately it is his opinion on what a light strike is, what a medium strike is, so it is still biased whether he likes it or not. He can't make an objective video like that in that style. For that, I will put him at great content. See, I rate the Weasel and I watch his stuff still to this day. I've been watching his stuff for years, so I don't want to put him in, I don't want to put him 3 tiers down, but some of the people that I'm going to put in great content, I'll tell you what, I'll put him in great content, but he may be at the back of that, just a personal preference thing. I think there's some guys on this list that go above and beyond what the Weasel does, and it will be the same for a few of these guys. When he does the nightmare matchups, when he does who will be the champ of the next year, I enjoy those a lot more than his, wow guys, this fight just got announced, here's what I think about it type stuff. Next we got Mixed Mollywoppery. Now this is somebody, if you're not familiar, his style of videos are a lot more like video essay / documentary style videos. So to compare somebody like him to the Weasel, for example, I prefer long form documentary style content, so obviously I'm gonna prefer somebody like Mixed Mollywoppery to the Weasel, because Weasel's a bit more of a news / analytical channel. I think Mixed Mollywoppery goes in chicken salad. If you're not on Mixed Mollywoppery's videos, you're sleeping. As an MMA fan, you should be watching his shit. You know, he's but you know, a lot of people in this space like to say, look at the psychology, look at his body language, look at the way the face off, he looked away first, like, and a lot of bullshit MMA kind of stuff. Mixed Mollywoppery, I think, takes the more human side. He recently made a video on Sean Strickland. My girlfriend watched the Izzy and Strickland fight with me and saw Strickland beat Izzy, and I was trying to explain to her, like, listen, this guy, like, this is a real big success story. And then Mixed Mollywoppery dropped a video on Sean Strickland about his past and his childhood, etc., and I showed it her, and it basically explained everything that I was trying to explain and more, and now she really likes Strickland. So it's an easy way, if you don't know much about a fighter, watch one of his videos, and it, you know, his Zabit video on the ninja school and all that kind of shit, please go check out this guy's channel. All of these guys are going to be linked in the description, of course. Next, we've got Mixed Martial Academic. Again, if you're not on his content, he makes like long form video essay style stuff. He puts a lot of effort into his videos. You know, I think he sits on them for a very long time, editing them, making sure they're perfect. Great content, great scripts, great editing. I'm going to put him in chicken salad. He may be at the back of chicken salad, not any detriment to him. He's a fucking amazing, he makes amazing stuff, but just because some of my personal bias will come in here, and some of these guys that I haven't got to yet are my favorites. You know what I'm saying? So mixed martial academic for me is definitely like top 4, top 5, but I wouldn't say he's top 3 for me personally. Obviously, I will stop saying, oh, it's my opinion personally, because you get the point. I'm just going to say who's what from this point on. Don't take any offense. Next, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, we've got Napoleon blown apart. Now, he goes chicken salad at the front for me. There's only one other person on this list that would go in front of him. And to be honest, it's very, very, very close. Napoleon blown apart, in my opinion, is the best long-form MMA video creator in this whole space. His videos on Pride, he's got hours and hours and hours of footage you can go and watch, and it's all educational stuff. With this channel, a lot of what I'm trying to do is obviously entertainment, but I would also like to teach a lot of people about the sport. I understand from my position, somebody that's been watching MMA since like 2010, 2009, obviously a lot of these new fans don't know about these stories, these rivalries, the days in Pride. They hear about it, but there's nowhere, unless they want to sit and watch 400 fights, there's no way to kind of get the whole scope on it. But Napoleon blown apart has videos. The Ultimate Fighter whole retrospective series is amazing, and honestly, this guy, if he's not number 1, he's basically joint number 1, very slightly number 2, but I'll get to that later. Please go and watch Napoleon blown apart. If you like long form stuff, make some food, roll a joint, whatever you do, stick him on. I promise you, he'll become one of your favorites very fast. Next, we got Demetrius Johnson at Mighty Gaming, I believe his channel is. Obviously, he is a pure analyst. He does gaming and street beefs, fucking reactions and stuff, but I don't watch that kind of stuff. I just watch his predictions, his breakdowns of fights, etc. And he nails them a lot of time. I'm pretty sure he picked Strickland to do what he did to Izzy. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he did. And he also, I think, he picked Francis against Fury. I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure he did. And somebody like DJ wouldn't just do it to be like an edgy guy, like, I'm going with the underdog, and if I'm wrong, then, you know, it doesn't matter or whatever. He's one of the best analysts. I'm going to put him in great content just because I'm going to put him in front of the Weasel in great content. Just because I don't watch all of his stuff. Like, the guys in Chicken Salad for me are like, when they upload, I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, no debate. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. I'm watching every single video. Where great content is like, I watch most of their stuff, and a lot of it, most of it, pretty much all of it is good, or great, I should say, as it says in the tier. Next, we've got, as I was saying, Lucas Tracy. I'm going to put him in good content. I think he works well as like a discussion / news channel. He's uploading all the time, you know, which is what it takes essentially to be one of those channels. You need to be uploading every day. Clickbait titles, clickbait thumbnails, all of that stuff. He does great. I saw a meme on Twitter that he put, no human being alive could beat Tom Aspinall, and in the picture was Leonidas. Yeah, no, fair enough to Lucas Tracy, man. He's triggered a lot of people, and every video that I've ever seen from him has been good. I wouldn't say he makes great content. You know, he makes the content his channel is designed to make. So he does a very good job at that. So yeah, good content, Lucas Tracy, I think. Chael Sonnen, I would put him in great content in front of both the Weasel and Mighty Mouse. I might even put the Weasel in front. Yeah, I'm going to put great content goes Chael Sonnen, the Weasel, Mighty Mouse, just for me. Because Chael, although he can drop a 15-minute video about a point and only get to the point in the last 3 minutes of the video, I could listen to him talk forever. My job is I work in a kitchen, and I'm literally listening to podcasts, interviews, and videos about MMA from the moment I clock in to the moment I clock out of a 10-hour shift or whatever. So, you know, I enjoy Chael's long-form content. I wouldn't want him to upload 5-minute videos. I like hearing him elaborate and reference, and I bring this to you because I rate Chael. Great content, the front runner for great content for me. The only reason he's not in Chicken Salad is just because, again, he makes like the discussion type videos, and a lot of the time, like when Francis beat Fury, he made like 7 videos about it. Right now he's making a bunch of videos about Aspinall. So yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't put him in Chicken Salad. Next, we've got somebody that some of you might not know. He's one of the smaller YouTubers on this list. It's Bedtime MMA. He makes like matchmaking videos. He makes some good content, and that's where I'm going to put him. I think I'm going to put him in good content, but in front of Lucas Tracy. Again, last time I'll say it, it's a personal fucking preference, bro. Relax. I just like him his looseness. I feel like Lucas Tracy's very corporate. He's very like, he's probably going to get a decent job in this space. He's like Ben the Bane Davis. Like, he's ready for the more commercial side of MMA, where like bedtime MMA is a bit more of a YouTuber. He's a bit more of an actual like content creator, you know, like thinking of ideas. What can I do like to make this video entertaining? So bedtime MMA, I would put him in good content in front of Lucas Tracy, but I wouldn't put him where the Weasel, Chael, etc. are. Next, we've got Ariel Helwani / the MMA Hour. 5 years ago, probably chicken salad for me. Used to watch it religiously. Used to watch every single guest, even if I didn't know who they were. Put me onto so many fighters. But recently, Ariel's been doing some fuck shit stuff with Jamal Hill. Even the beef that he had with Chael recently, when he was kind of trying to hint at him being like an anti-Semite and saying, "Oh, I wonder why he called me a weasel. I wonder why he called me a rat." You don't do that shit to your boy, bro. I don't care who the fuck says anything. Ariel's been a bitch recently. Like, he has. It's all gone to his head. Dylan Dennis should have probably just slapped him in the studio and none of this would have happened. The whole 10-7 thing that the fans keep saying has gone to his head. And I'm from Leicester and he's a Forest fan, so fuck Ariel Helwani anyway. All jokes aside, good content. The fact that I can't even put Ariel in great content anymore just shows when I used to be a fan of Ariel, man, you know, so it's a shame. Next, we've got Mexican martial arts. Listen, bro, this guy does not get enough credit. I'm telling you, if you don't know who this guy is, please go watch some of his stuff. He makes very, like, I can't even explain it. It's straight entertainment is how I look at it. I've been watching him for so fucking long, and I couldn't even tell you like, oh yeah, he made this video that popped off or this video that popped off. He's just super consistent. And I'll tell you one thing as well, because I'll ride out for Mexican martial arts on this point. The Dana White privilege line by Tony Ferguson that everybody gives him credit for. Mexican martial arts coined that shit, bro. He was saying that shit a long time before Tony Ferguson said it. Tony Ferguson watches his channel most likely and got the fucking phrase. So come on, put some respect to my boy's name. I would put him just behind the Weasel. I would go Chael, the Weasel, Mexican martial arts, DJ is how I would do it. Next, we've got Michael Bisping. Now listen, I used to rate Bisping so much when he was fighting. And I know this is going to sound weird because he was like a dickhead back then and now he's a great guy. But I liked him better back then. This is gonna sound really harsh, right? I'm not meaning it in some big controversial way trying to shit on Michael Bisping because I fucking love the guy, right? But his YouTube videos, I feel like he almost does what Chael does, but he doesn't have the smoothness of Chael. Like, he'll be like, right guys, let's talk about this, and he'll talk about it for 12 minutes and he'll repeat the same point, and I find it hard to watch. His commentary is fine in my opinion. Like, I've never had a massive problem with Michael Bisping's commentary as an English fan of MMA. I love Michael Bisping, obviously. But as a YouTuber, like, his podcasts I can watch, his interviews I can watch. It's just when he's sat there and he's talking, and even his live streams I can watch. But when he's just sat there talking about specific things, I find it hard to keep engaged. You know, I feel like he kind of is bored when he's making those sort of videos sometimes, you know. So Michael Bisping, I'll put him in good content. I'll put him in front of Ariel's bitch ass. And I tell you what, I'll even put Bedtime MMA and Lucas Tracy in front of Ariel's bitch ass at this point. Next, we've got Dan Hardy / Full Reptile. Now, again, as I said earlier, I'm from Leicester. I don't know if anybody watching even fucking knows what I'm talking about, but essentially, long story short, Dan Hardy's gym is in where I live. I can walk 15 minutes and go to that MMA gym where they all train. So he's a local kind of hero for me. Like, I've seen him in person at the gym, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've read his book. Like, I'm biased towards Dan Hardy, but what I can say, unbiasedly, I'm not sure if that's a word. What I can say is he's one of the best analysts in the game. I don't care what you want to say. If that's bias, it's bias. I don't give a fuck. In my opinion, he's one of the best. Hardy, his War Room videos where he breaks down techniques and stuff, and his UFC where he's on the TV screen drawing stuff, great content, I would say. And I would put him just behind Chael, I think. Just because Chael has the entertainment factor as well. Dan Hardy's very, let's look at the reach, let's look at the most thrown fucking significant strike. You know, he's a lot more of a hardcore fans guy. Chael, you can kind of put him on for anyone and people are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't know, but I love it. Next, we've got MMA on Point. MMA on Point, how do I describe their channel? They almost make like 10 light heavyweights that never got the belt, you know, and it's great editing, it's great scripts. The guys that work at MMA On Point are brilliant. I subscribed to MMA On Point when they had fucking no subscribers, probably less than like 20k, 15k, some shit. It was just like Jason doing the videos and that was it. And that British guy, I forget his name, I apologize. MMA On Point, I would say, very good, very casual, friendly channel. I would say great content at the bottom. I'll actually put him in front of Mighty Mouse, I think. Next, we've got the Wade Concept. Now, the Wade Concept slash the breakdown, I guess I should say. Let me just say this, right? I've been watching Wade since before any of this shit, bro. Before influencer boxing, like I found Wade through his Khabib McGregor videos years ago. I subscribed to him. I never clicked on his shit because he had terrible thumbnails back then. But I watched a few videos here and there. And then once he started covering the influencer boxing thing, he got like recommended in my algorithm. And I was already subbed to him. I was like, oh, this is the MMA guy. Wade loves to say to this day, I'm an MMA guy. But, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this, I think he's a lot more of an influencer boxing guy than he is an MMA YouTuber. He's a lot more of an influencer boxing YouTuber than he is an MMA YouTuber, is what I'm trying to say. He didn't know who Pantoja was. Alexandre Pantoja was fighting for the belt, and in the breakdown, he was like, I'm going to be honest, Sensei, I don't know who this guy is. I hear him butcher so many names of like up-and-coming fighters that a lot of these fans already know how, like, what their name is, and he's like, I don't know how to say this guy's name. I think being so busy with influencer boxing and being skyrocketed to the top of that scene has obviously dragged him a little bit away from the MMA scene, and I know he's actively trying to get back into there. The breakdown, him and Sensei, they always cover MMA topics, so I'm not saying he's a fake fan or is it casual, but I think he likes to say he's an MMA guy, and maybe, yeah, if Francis and Tyson are fighting, obviously he's an MMA guy then because he wants Francis to win. But he didn't know who Alexandre Pantoja was when he's literally been he's beat half of these top flyweights before, you know, and he didn't know who he was. If he was a real, like, I was surprised when I heard that. I was like, hey, yo, Wade Concept, as an MMA YouTuber, I would say he makes good content, but as a whole YouTuber, I'd put him in great content because I really like Wade's stuff. I'm gonna put him just behind the Weasel. I'm gonna put him in between the Weasel and Mexican martial arts because he's a good analyst, good entertainment, great editing. Shout out his editor and all that. So yeah, he's good to watch. Now we get to the two that I've kept you around maliciously waiting for. If I did these at the beginning, you would have clicked off the video in 5 seconds. So I've you know, forgive me, bro. I'm trying. The MMA Guru. Now, as somebody that's been watching Guru for a while and kind of used to watch him more than I have done in the past sort of 6 months-ish, I think Guru in his heyday, in maybe not even in the shed, in the bedroom, I would have put him in Chicken Salad because he was the only one doing the kind of shit he was. Everybody was trying to be so official, trying to have the nice backdrops like I've got here, trying their best to get the best mic, the best editing. And Guru was very like, I'm an MMA fan in my bedroom. That's what the stream is. It's just me watching the card and talking about MMA. And I used to love that so much. Now he's a bit more... He's trying a bit more with his channel, which is obviously what he's going to do. I'm not saying he shouldn't fucking do this, but he's a bit more of a character now. You know what I'm saying? He's a bit more exaggerated and stuff. He's a bit more confident, which obviously is good for him. But there was almost something charming about when he used to try and be quiet when a mad knockout had happened. He'd try and not wake his mum and dad up. Like, that's the kind of person I saw Guru as, and I loved that because I could relate to that. Now, obviously, he's doing much better. The streams are great and stuff, but my point being, I would have put him in Chicken Salad beforehand, but I'm going to put him in great content, and I'm going to put him behind Weasel. I know a lot of people are probably like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? But, and I understand that Guru's flavor of the year at the minute, you know, a lot of people are finding his channel, and I'm really happy for him, is skyrocketing. But as somebody that was watching him for a couple of years now, I enjoyed when his community was smaller. Maybe that's just me being a gatekeeping fucking bitch, but yeah, I just don't enjoy his content as much anymore, but he still makes good content. And now, number one, my favorite, the only man to beat Napoleon Bonaparte, and very, 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 very slightly. I've been listening to this guy for a very long time. He is how everybody looks at the Weasel for like almost concrete, oh, the Weasel said it, so it's true. This is how I look at this guy, which again, you should never look at anybody this way. But if this person said, this fight is fucking sick, you need to keep an eye out on him, he does some really cool things, I'm watching every one of that guy's fights and I'm paying attention to him. Mr. Jack Slack, the posh little bastard himself. I don't think there's anybody in this scene that has been as consistent as Jack Slack. I don't need to go into the details of this fighter credited his win to reading Jack Slack's Killing the King. You know, there's been so many. TJ Dillashaw, even Jordan Levitt, who's fighting this weekend, is an avid reader and credited some of his success in a fight or two to Jack Slack's technique breakdowns and whatever it may be. I think he's entertaining. I think he's a great character as well as a real person. You can actually, you know, he says real shit while also kind of taking the piss. And yeah, every single time Jack Slack drops anything, I'm there listening to it. In the Patreon, listening to the boycast. I'm reading the articles. He is a massive inspiration to me and many others. He's the only reason why I got into written content about MMA. If you don't know, I write for MMA UK, Left Hook Harry, same handle. Just go on MMA UK, it'll be in the description. You can read any of my articles. He is the reason why I respected the sport so much years ago when he broke down the little details to me and things like that. And there's nothing like a post-fight Jack Slack podcast for me. So chicken salad, number one. Very, very close with Napoleon Bonaparte though. Napoleon may even be kind of like here. So it's probably not fair to put Jack in front, but yeah. That's the tier list. If I missed any of your favorites, let me know. I apologize if I put one of your favorites lower down than you wanted me to. Everybody keeps clowning me saying you're recording this on a fucking copy of fucking Fallout New Vegas, bro. I know my camera's bad. I'm using my laptop. I have a really fancy mic, but a fucking awful camera. Please bear with me. I will get a good camera and I will sort the lighting out. Right now, I just have the E-Girl fucking LED lights with the soundproofing and whatever this tapestry is. It's okay for now, okay? If the camera gets that bad, I can switch to my phone, but again, I don't want you to see every little fucking detail of my skin texture, bro. I don't mind the camera being a little bit grainy. I can hide in the hood. No problem. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate the 180 whatever subs. If this video hits the algorithm again, bro, I'm gonna fucking jump and click my heels like Dorothy, bro. I'm Harry. I talk about fights. Bang. There's a picture of me as a little kid looking like a fucking little sweetheart. Yeah, get me off this fucking camera, bro.